How about some of separate thought?
Like Yashab. Ahmad, Upad Yakudam, turn face the east. Say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. You can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Abinaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakotka, Taba'at, Batazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ma'aratza, Kawak, Hayah, Bashemayim, the thunder now, Lacham, Ko, Yawam, Basalakna, Kabawat now, Kasalak now, Kabawat, Mala'ab, Tabiyan now, Malasawan, Bob, Hausa now, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Al, Wata Pura, Laulam,
In English, our Father,
Turn
heaven,
John heaven.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done
that will be done
on earth
in earth
as it is in
as
heaven.
it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
and bread.
and forgive us of our debts,
And give us our debts.
as we forgive our
Debtors,
debtors,
give our debts.
and lead us not to
And
temptation,
lead us not into
but
temptation.
deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil.
Thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Al-Hahari,
Ahahari,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'a,
Yama'ah,
Azari,
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 Ma'ayin,
Ma'ayin,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shemayin,
Shemai,
Wa'aratazah,
Baratasa,
Ayatan,
Ayathan,
Namuwat,
Namuwat,
Wakalka,
Namuwat,
Al-Yanawam,
Ayanawam,
Samarka,
Shamar,
Hana,
Tanah,
La'a,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'a,
Bala'ah,
Yaishan,
Yashan,
Shalmar,
Shalmar,
Yashal,
Yashah,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazok,
Tazok,
Al-Yad,
Al-Yad,
Yam Yanka, Yawamam,
Yamamam,
Asmat,
Ashmat,
La'a,
La'ah,
Yakakat,
Yakakah,
Ba'arat,
Bayarah,
Layala,
Layala,
Yahweh, Yashamarka,
Yashmar,
Makal Rai,
Korah,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Abdapas,
Apapash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashmar,
Taza'at,
Taza'at,
Wabu'ak, Maita,
Maya,
Wai,
Ai,
Aulam.
in English, I will lift up mine eyes
I will lift up my eyes
to the hills,
to the hills.
from whence cometh my
And
help.
whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the
My
Lord,
help comes from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
When I suffer thy foot to be moved,
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
he that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth thee shall out,
he that keepeth Yasharim
shall neither slumber nor
shall
sleep.
neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
Lord is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor the
night.
moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all
The
evil.
Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going
The
out
Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming
For
in.
this time
From
forth
this time forth
and even
and even
forevermore.
forevermore. So,
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. You know what? That's fine.
prayer for the Hakak, in English, the power. Yahweh Shemi Yahushua,
Yahweh Shemi Yahushua,
Baruch Yeshua,
Yahushua,
the thunder now,
Lala,
Hakak,
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 Larapa'ah,
La'afa'ah,
Call Mafalat,
Hamakalak,
Call Marawat,
Hamadawah,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Batahar,
that's hard.
Amatazari,
Hamadazari,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Ahakwi,
Ahaki,
Amatyu,
Hamaki,
Hakak,
Hakak,
Arakwa,
Harakawah,
Atamal,
Hatama'ala,
the Garson,
Garsh,
Bashemi Yahushua,
Bashim Yahushua,
Waraman.
Waraman. Power in English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of
In
Yahweh
the name of
Shai,
Yahweh.
please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of
The
sickness.
power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh
In the name of
Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go on.
Pray to bless Israel. Yahweh, it's like in the Hebrew, the prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Manaw.
Barak Manaw.
Wayashah.
Yahshua.
Mahabayah.
Wahabaya.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rabah.
Magun.
Magan.
Hagun.
Magan.
Aslakia, for the time's sake,
Israelite School UPK.
Israelite School UPK,
All of this.
all of Israel. Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Wad Amun.
And in English, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai,
Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai.
bless us in Yahshua.
Bless us in Yahshua
In the school.
and the school.
Bless, shield, should protect.
Bless you, shield, protect.
Love
I love
In
you.
the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai.
name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahai.
Adam Yahweh.
Adam Yalaka.
Al Takurat.
Altakarat.
Wal Tasukwa.
Altasqua.
Oh,
Ah.
Kiyahana.
Yahana.
Wabika.
Wabi.
Yahami Yawan.
Hamilon.
Ras.
Saas.
Al Amaka.
Amak.
Yarayamu.
Yarayam.
Sawad.
Sawat.
Wayata Yaitazu.
Ayata Tazi.
Al Tazu Wapandika.
Altapam.
Amal.
Amar.
Lakuwa.
Lakawat.
Wakaki Nam.
Takidam.
Magalia.
Gali.
Wala A Yazakar.
Malahan is called.
Sam Yashal.
Shem Yashal.
Awad.
Iwat.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawatazu.
Now Tazi.
Baba.
Napa.
Yakhad.
Yakat.
Ayaka.
Kaya.
Bayat.
Maria.
Yakurat.
Yarat.
Ahalia.
Ahal.
Arawam.
Amun.
Waya Shemai Aliyam.
Maya Shmaliam.
Mawabu.
Ma'ab.
Wagari.
Magari.
Kabal.
Oh.
Wamuan.
Wamu.
Wamalat.
Malat.
Hashat.
Alashat.
Amishabi.
Amishat.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashabur.
Namashu.
Narawak.
Alawat.
Amam.
Iman.
Haywat.
Naiwat.
Zawat.
Zarawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Napanya Lawat.
Salat.
Salat.
Aisha Laham.
Ashalaham.
Kamadi.
Mad.
Kasiya Shara.
Kasiya Sara'at.
Kiyabya.
Yabi.
Manakal.
Manakal.
Oyashwan.
Yashma.
Nasamaru.
Nashamat.
Ayan the Arab.
Ayan the Ark.
Haywat.
Hayawat.
The Man.
Naman.
Radam.
Nam.
Shatam.
Shatam.
Narayamaw.
Nayamab.
Kairab.
Kairat.
Wakazaabu.
Sa'ab.
Wakazabak.
Katapat.
Wakazalmanar.
Katasolvanat.
Kalna Saikam.
Harna Sarakam.
Ashar.
Ashok.
Amal.
Amok.
Narashat.
Narashat.
Alawat.
Alawat.
Nawat.
Nawat.
Alahain.
Alhayat.
Alahayat.
Alhayat.
Shatam.
Santam.
Kagalgal.
Gab.
Kakwat.
Supat.
Sapanyu Raukat.
Paniwakat.
Kaat.
Sa'at.
Sabayru Yair.
Bavaria Ira.
Wakalahab.
Wahala.
Tarahat.
Alahat.
Haryam.
Hari.
Kantardat.
Kandar Sap.
Basaruka.
Sar.
Basawapat.
Wasu Pat.
Tabalaham.
Dalahum.
Mala'at.
Alaat.
Panyaham.
Manya.
Falwan.
Walawan.
Wayabukwash.
Walukash.
Samkat.
Shamkat.
Yahaw.
Yahaw.
Yabashu.
Bas.
Wayabahaw.
Wherever
Adi Ad.
Ayat.
Wayakapar.
Ayat.
Wayabaru.
Ayat. Bab.
Wayadai.
Ayat. Dai.
Kayata.
Kayata.
Sumkat.
Shamkat.
Yahaw.
Yahaw.
Labaka.
Bas.
Al-Yawan.
Aliwan.
Al.
Ah.
Kar.
Kar.
Al-Ratazak.
In English, sing out outside.
You're not outside.
Oh, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not that peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
Oh,
Oh,
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Below.
Below.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
The enemies make it tumble.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate
Have lifted up the
you,
head.
lift up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against our people
And consulted against thy hidden
and
ones.
consulted against our hidden.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
let's cut them off from being a nation.
let's get them off of being a nation.
That the name of Yahshua
At the name of Yahshua,
may be no more in remembrance.
there be no more remembrance.
But they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
Y'all confederate against
the
us.
tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the
and
Ishmaelites,
the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
the Hagarenes,
they agree.
Jabal,
The ball,
and Ammon,
and
and
Ammon,
Amalek,
and
the
Amalek.
Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre,
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
sure also join with them.
So is also joined with them.
That hope in the children of
They have
Lot,
hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah.
Lord to them as to the million,
Going to them is unto the midnight.
as the sister,
At the sister.
at the Jabin,
As the Ben.
at the brook
At the
Kisan,
brook Kison.
which Fezah endured.
Prepares to Nindu.
They became the stuff of the earth.
And the king is done for the earth.
Mr. Noble Zachariah,
The numbers like a word.
he likes to eat.
Like the eat.
Yea,
Yea.
are the prince as a
All
bow,
the princes of Bach.
and as a moon,
And as the moon.
who said,
who said,
let's say to ourselves,
let's take to ourselves,
the house of Yahweh in possession.
the house of Yahweh in possession.
Hold my power,
On my power,
make it like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the
and
wind,
stumble for the wind.
as the fire burns the wood,
The fire burns the wood,
as the flame set the mountains on
fire
fire.
flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy temper,
So persecute them with that
and
temper.
make them afraid with thy stone.
Make them afraid with that stone.
Fill the faces with
And
shame,
the face with shame.
that they may seek thy
They
name.
might seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let it be confounded in trouble forever.
let it be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let it be put to shame and
let
perish,
me put to shame and perish.
that men may know that
That
thou,
men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high of all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things
and
live.
all things live.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
and
Shai,
then Yahweh shall
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Said he was a curse,
So he was
and
encouraged.
punishment and destruction
Punishment and
to
destruction
the evil
to the heathen.
that speak against
That
us.
speak against
Thy
us.
prophets,
The prophets,
the teachers,
teachers,
the princes,
princes, priests,
Israelite brothers,
Israelite brothers,
in the school.
and the school.
Said he was a curse,
And he was encouraged.
punishment and destruction
Punishment and
to the
destruction
evil
to the heathen.
and shake loose,
To shake loose
the treasure of the rich of
the
Israel,
treasure of the rich of
and
Israel.
refuse gifts and
That refuse to give to the school.
force their riches.
Force their riches.
Just as I sent you.
That is our
Said
sanctuary.
he was a curse,
And he was encouraged.
and punishment and destruction
Punishment and
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nation,
the nation,
and the drug,
and drug dealers,
the court
system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned
and
Parenthood,
parenthood.
all the governments of our enemies,
All the governments of our enemies.
everlasting synagogues and almost
Amalek synagogues and all.
almost Catholic Church,
Almost get the church.
the Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Italian,
Italian,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan
Aryan
Nation,
Nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
cosmopolitan,
cosmopolitan,
gay
the
movement,
game movement,
lesbian,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
works of
works of
witchcraft,
witchcraft,
Nazi space program,
that's the space program,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Marines,
Wall
Wall
Street,
Street,
open up the internet,
open up the internet,
and airways,
and airways,
cable access,
cable access
and
channels,
radio,
radio channels,
convict the spirit in thy people,
convict the spirit of any of our people
that seek to stop
that
us,
seek to stop us,
and bring swift
and
destruction
bring swift destruction
to all of you
to all the heathen
that stand in the way,
stand in the way,
and try to
that
stop
try to stop us
from broadcasting
from
your word
broadcasting your word
throughout the planet
throughout
Earth.
the planet Earth.
Let loose all the
Lose
planet,
all the planet,
cause to go to and
all
fro,
will go to and fro,
to the earth and
to
consume
the
it.
earth and consume it.
Let the place shake the house
Let the plague shake the house
of the thief and the
of
murderer.
the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh shine.
And Yahweh shall,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel,
come down to find
down
souls
to find sources,
punish all the
punish all the heathen
that come up
that
against
come
us
up against us
as we speak
as
our
we
word.
speak our word.
Cause we know about all.
Cause it to be known by all.
And it's the angels that have done
It's
this.
the angels that have done.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread through the media
Throughout the whole
throughout the
world.
whole world.
Cause them to shake up thy
Cause
coming.
them to shake that come.
In the name of Yahweh
In the name of
Shai.
Yahweh shall,
Thank you always.
you always.
So be.
So be. So. Geshabium, you see it?
All right. Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Thumb to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar. Alatha Bashim Yahweh Shai to the sisters. All right. Once again, this is the Sabbath service, otherwise known in the Hebrew, going to be Shabbat. All right. Not no Shabbat Shalom.
Right, right.
It's going to be Shabbat, or otherwise Sabbath service. As you know, once again, the part that we are doing right now, we are still in the service part, right? The Sabbath service has a service portion and then a class portion. All right. So, you know, you don't want to just classify it as a class. There is a service. That's why the word service is in the name.
Right.
All right. What you see us do in the beginning is the service. When we get into the English, there's a class portion. So everything Hebrew, that's the service. When we get into the prayers, that's a service. All right. Just so you understand and you know the difference. All right. So we are going to get into Ezekiel chapter 23. Verses 22 through 28. All right. Now, for those that's following us on social media, let me see here. Oh, slide. I guess we are live on Facebook. Well, I don't know how that happened, but Most High in Christ.
Hey, yeah.
Most High in Christ. So, so for those that's watching on social media, right? My page I got flagged, and my page, just like all the other officers in Minnesota, our pages are connected to the ISUK Minnesota page, right? Because we are, what do you call it, administrators. All right, for the page. If you do not see us live, or you don't see certain posts on Facebook on certain days, just come to YouTube. or go to Twitter. We're live on Twitter as well. All right. So with that being said, we are going to get into the Tanakh and read 7 verses. All right.
Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 22 in the Hebrew. Lakan. Ahayabah. Kahamah. Adanya. Yahweh. Hananya. Maya. Mahabya. Alyak. Af Ashar Nakoya. Napashar. Not it's like Napashar. Maham. Wahabathium. Alyak. Masabia. Verse 23. Banyan. Babal. Bakal Kashadium. Bakuwa. Washwai. Washkowai. Washwai. Wakuwai. Kalbanya. Asabo. Autam. Bakhwarya. Hamad. Kakhwa. Wasaganyam. Kalam. Salashyam. Wakwarawayam. Wakwarawayam. Wakabya. Sawasyam. Kalam. Verse 24. Wabaal. Ayak. Hatazal. Wakab. Wagagula. Wabakuha. Anium. Tazaha. Tazana. Wamagan.
Qual by. You say ma. Ayak. Sabiya. Monotati. Tapanyaham. Masupat. Wasupat wak. But Masupatnya was 25. Monotati. Konaatia. Bak. Waiswa. Autak. Bakma. Pak. Wazanya. Isaira. Wakaritha. Bakhral. Tapwo. Hama. Banyak. Ubanwatia. Yakuka. Ikwak. Yakwakwa.
Little tongue twister. Huh?
A little weird. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
Feels like home.
Right, right.
Wakaritha. Tako. Baash. Verse 26. Or Pashiarwa. Af Bagadia. Af Bagadia. Lakwakwa. Kalya. Taparatha.
Verse 27. وهشباتيا زمتاك مماك وعاد زنوتاك مارات زا ما تزارد ولا عاد تشاء 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 أيانيك اليهام ومتزارد لا the Sakaria Awad, verse 28. Kaya Kaha Amar Adanya Yahweh Hananya Nathana Bayad Ashar Shana'a Bayad Ashar Nakwahaya Nakwaaya Nakwaiha Napasha Maham. That's the end of verse 28.
No, sorry. All right, Most High in Christ. That's 7 verses in the Tanakh. Once again, the precepts that we went over is on the screen. Ezekiel chapter 23, verses 22 through 28. All right. All right. So we are going to get into it last week. You was here last week, right? 7.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you were. We talked about a few different things last week concerning the Sabbath service, and one of the main things once again was about whoredom. All right, how there were 2 sisters, right? This is pretty much like a parable, and a vision that's being shown to Ezekiel, right? 2 sisters decided that they was going to commit a lot of whoredoms with the Assyrians. I forget off the top who the Assyrians are. Do you remember off the top? I just went over this with last month with us, so I forget the Assyrians.
It's not the current Syrians.
Right. I was thinking Ishmael.
I thought it was more so like the like
No.
not like the Persians, something like that.
Yeah.
Something in that neighborhood.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I'll give y'all that a little bit later. Yeah, I forget off the top because there's so many different other nations on the earth if you did not know.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I mean, there's more, more other nations on the earth besides black, so-called black, white, Hispanics, which black and Hispanics and Native Indians are the same people, but some people may think that they are all different type of races of people. Some are, some are not, all right? But that's a different type of class. But the point being is that these 2 sisters, they were actual sisters, and they whored themselves with the Assyrians. They followed their culture, their way of life. And when we say whoredom, it wasn't that they were just sleeping around. It was all types of manner of wickedness. Like you can whore yourself out without actually being a physical whore, in a sense of you sleeping around. You can change up your gods every year. You know what I mean? One thing that I've noticed that everybody should also take focus on Every time that there's an interracial marriage going on, that Israelite always goes after the heathen's culture. It's never the other way around.
Right.
Have you ever noticed that?
Right.
Now, I'm not sure if Janet Jackson is still with this heathen, but when she got with that one heathen, I forget if he was I think it's East Indian, or yeah, I want to say probably East Indian, or like Ishmael, which is the Arabs. All of a sudden now she want to pray to Buddha, and she want to be a part of Islam. It's no different than what happened to Rihanna. Now Rihanna is with ASAP Rocky, but she was kissing and humping on a $1 billion, man. I believe he was Ishmael. He's from Dubai. You know what I mean? And now she wants to try to follow his way of life and culture. But I guess she's not following that no more. But still, the fact is, when we decide to join ourselves with the other people, it always ends bad. Nothing
Right.
good comes out of it at all.
Right.
Now, you doing business with heathens is one thing. That's just business. But when you get intimate meaning that you start to live the way that they live, you're actually in the bed with these people, then that's where things start to spiral out of control. And the Lord starts to show you that the choice that you made to be with these people is the wrong choice. It's not about it being the man or the woman. It's about who you chose to be with as far as the race of people. And you decide to lay down in bed with people that's not your people.
Right.
So imagine you are a black man, a Hispanic man, Native Indian man, and you decide to pick pork over beef. Who is the pork? That's going to be the white people. Esau, the Edomites, Caucasians, Khazars, Amalek. They have so many goddamn names, it's ridiculous.
Right.
All right? You choose to lay down in bed with these dogs, and you are going to catch fleas. You are going to catch the plagues of laying down with these people.
Right.
That's the reality. You know what I mean? I was talking to this brother at the slavery. I believe he's like 59 or 60 years old, but he looks young as shit. You know what I mean? Because black don't crack. All right. But this brother I'm talking to, he's telling me that he's with a devil. A devil. Who grew up in the hood and stuff like that. And he's telling me how when they get into an argument, and she's an alcoholic, so when they get into an argument, she always says, oh, you nigger. And I'm like, good night. Like, damn. So I'm like, so wait, how do you react? And he's like, well, I call her a cracker ass B. And I'm just like, that's it, huh? I'm like, look, you would not be in that situation if you never decided to lay down with that beast.
That's right.
I mean, bestiality is a thing, and it is very much a sin in the Bible. Last time I checked in the Old Testament, it said, when you lay down with a beast, the person who lay down with the beast gets killed, and so does the beast. You probably ran up on that beast and raped the beast and assaulted that beast, violated it. But even the beast got to go. Although the beast should be what, a victim in a sense. But like, damn, like, you telling me that it's better to sleep with these beasts instead of being with your own people. We should learn how to love each other in all aspects of life,
Right.
as far as our own people.
Right.
We give too much credit and too much love and too much of our time, and I really hate that word energy. We give too much of ourselves to these people that are not our people. We have to stop. Actually, there's a scripture about that. I'm gonna get that in a second, but I digress. I'll let you get to it. Salaki.
Okay. Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 22 in English. Therefore, O Aholibah, thus saith the Lord God, Salaki, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will raise up thy lovers against thee, from whom thy mind is alienated, and I will bring them against thee on every side.
Right. Once again, not only did this precept prove that if you join your enemies, that you will be in the hand of the enemies,
but there's other ones as well.
Right.
The most famous one I can think about, I forget what book it is, but just to paraphrase it lightly, when the Most High said, in a nutshell, since you love these people so much, I'm going to give you over to a people who are not a people. Damn, not a people. A people that are not a people. When you look at your oppressor, they are not even human now.
Right. So,
You want to say something? Go ahead.
just real quick, just
Mhm.
because there's some people that think that the
Right.
so-called white man was created out of a mixture of a pig, a rat, and a dog in a lab. That's not the case. That's not what we're saying by they are not the people. They're not even human. They're not humane. You know what I'm saying? It's don't go down that rabbit hole. It's like,
And thank you, because I was just going to say that. They are not humane. Why are they not humane? Because they do unhumane things.
right.
They have no humanity whatsoever. All right. I mean, what's the word of being an animal, but you're not an animal? Animal. I don't know.
Animalistic.
Yeah, I think that is the word. Yeah, but like that's the same sense, right? You know, what I mean, you got an animal acting like a human. You know, what I mean, that's not an animal. All right. But now, however, our oppressor is a animal.
Right.
They are blessed with the sword, and they use it for unrighteousness
Right.
against you. Don't you know that they have plans that is a 10-year plan, a 15 plan, a 100-year plan to keep you in slavery, to keep you in place to where you never rise above them. I got to give it to Esau. That's very clever and smart of him. You know, I mean, it's very genius. But on the other hand, we do have somebody who is more powerful than him, and that is the Most High, our power. His name is Yahweh. It's not no Jehovah, Yeshua, Yeshua. It's none of that garbage. It's the Most High God, our power. All right. So, with that being said, keep going.
And I will bring them against you on every side. Verse 23. The Babylonians and the Chaldeans, and all the Chaldeans, Akkad and Shoah and Koah, and all the Assyrians with them. All of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses.
Right. So once again, now it's reiterating the glory of these heathens, right? The Babylonians, the Chaldeans, right? It's really reiterating the glory of them because it mentioned that about them previously in the chapter, because that's what these sisters had saw. Well, one of the sisters had died because of her whoredom, and the other sisters thought it would be a great idea. Like, you know what? My sister, she died a terrible death, but I can whore better than her. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. And that's literally what it pretty much said in the entire, in the previous chapter. Not previous chapter, but previously in this chapter. That's pretty much what it said. And she continued, and she started to do more and more whoredoms. And sooner or later, she will find her death. Sooner or later, if you decide to keep doing drugs, if you decide that it's okay to mess with other men's wives, you will find your death in your hands. You will find your life. You thought you was living life now, but wait until the perfect opportunity comes, and you will be destroyed. You will be dead. Keep thinking that it's okay to talk about everybody and their mama. You know what I mean? Like even the Bible, like when it comes to gossiping, there's a thing called contention. Contention is violence. Violence will come against you. That strap will be pulled out. You get into a fight, you get hit the wrong way, you're dead. You're a vegetable. If you're not dead, you might as well be. You're on life support. Your life flashes before your eyes, and everything is different for you. You got to be careful. Any small mess up that you make can have a ripple effect. Like you gotta understand this, right? People say, oh, everybody makes mistakes and things of that sort. Like, oh, it's part of being human. Not exactly. According to the Lord, we was never supposed to make any mistakes. The reason why we in captivity is because we made the mistake of thinking that
we had an option to go against the Most High and sin. Now, once again, also too, with the whole thing of Adam and Eve, it never mentions apple in those verses at all. That lets you know that someone has been lying to you.
Right.
What apple? I believe it says the tree of knowledge.
The tree of knowledge.
Yeah. But out of all the damn fruits, you said a damn apple. How come it can't be an orange?
Right.
Or how about this? How about it never mentioned the exact fruit? How about it was really a metaphor, figurative language? If you understand literacy, you will understand the Bible is very poetic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It never mentioned a goddamn apple. The only time it says apple in the Bible, I believe, is it says that you know the apple of my eye. Even that's a metaphor. You know, a metaphor, allegory, so on and so forth, right?
Right.
But the point is, because of their mistake, it put us in jeopardy. Do you know the reason why sisters feel pain when they're on their flower or their period or their menstrual, or when they even feel pain during childbirth is because of what happened in the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. And even that's in the Bible. When I first came in and I saw that, I said, damn. I said, that's deep. I said, that's heavy. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's a lot of sisters waiting in line to, you know, throw, you know, some jabs at Eve at this point. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like, good night. There's going to be pain in childbirth. You're going to have pain and cramps, and you're going to feel it every time you're on your flower because of Eve. Then, you know, there's some things that brothers got to deal with when it comes to Adam.
Yeah.
I'm sure brothers is ready to, you know, throw a few jabs at Adam as well.
Right.
Good night.
Right.
But look, the fact of the matter is we have to do better. The more that we continue in a cycle of sin, that's where it's going to set us back. And Christ will never come. If you want things to change, you want peace in the earth, true peace, to where there's no crime and violence, no oppression or poverty, all you have to do is serve the Most High.
Right.
Now, it's better said than done, but there's rules attached. You can't smoke anymore. You can't be a drug addict. You can't be a drug dealer. You can't be a whore or whoremonger. You can't be what else? You can't be a liar, thief. You can't kill off the emotion. You feel me? Like you can't talk about everybody in their mama. Can't do that. Ain't no brother and sister to talk about everybody, every goddamn body. If you are going to talk about somebody, say the good things.
Right.
But if you hear somebody saying negative things, do not respond and check them about them speaking about your brother or your sister. If you don't say anything, you don't respect that brother or that sister that they're speaking about. Always remember that. Be careful how you say things and what you say. Have discretion and discipline with your tongue, because life and death is in the tongue. Don't feel too comfortable to speak to certain people, because the moment you do, you are going to get the right one, and you are going to find yourself in counsel.
Right.
You're going to find yourself outside of the school. You're going to find yourself in a terrible place. So watch your mouth when you're talking about people.
Right.
And there's a reason why I'm saying that, because that is a heavy demon. Every time I go on social media, you know what I mean? Every time, you know, I mean, at the workplace, everybody knows everybody goddamn business. It's like, goddamn. Oh, hey, have you heard about such and such? Like, is it good or bad? Well, you know, it's a little, oh, it's not good. Okay, well, I really don't care about that. You know, yeah. I mean, is it about me? Oh, no. Well, hey, I don't care about it. You feel me? It don't matter to me. Make sure that they take that up to whoever is dealing with that issue. It's so easy to slip up. It's so easy to be jammed up in any manner of wickedness. And some people just think that they just doing okay. Well, no sweat. You'll find out later if you are. Okay. I pray that you don't have to end up in a situation that you should not be in. Take every word that the prophets and priests are saying to you to heed. Hearken. All right. Try to find something like that.
I just did. It's like just something I was looking at.
Okay. Otherwise, I'm done talking. You go ahead.
It's kind of verse 24, Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 24. And they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler and shield and helmet round about. And I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments.
That's I leave it up to you. You got it. That's a heavy one.
And
I like that.
we're experiencing this right now. You got a thing called the laws of the land.
Right.
We are left to their judgments. We are left to their principalities, their judicial system, their legislature, because we failed at our end of the bargain. We failed on our oath. We failed on the promise that was given to us. We didn't keep it. And again, this is the whole story about Aholah and Aholabah. And so we're seeing them with their chariots and their wagons and their wheels, their tanks, their Hummers, their unmarked or what's it called? Unmarked squad cars. You know what I'm saying? Like their whole fleet. The whole fleet, all their aircrafts, all their Navy ships,
Right.
Their drones. People ain't even gotta be behind the wheel like that no more.
Right. Yeah.
And with an assembly of people which shall set against thee buckler and shield and helmet round about. Look at their riot gear. The SWAT teams, when they come and raid your house, they're not FBI, CIA, DEA. I mean, you want to call us the alphabet boys? I mean, shit. Look at them and all their devices, all their weapons of war, because again, that was a gift. And they held true to that gift. Like I don't want to say, like how would I say it? They did their thing, and they did it well. 100-year plans, 1,000-year plans, like they put it into action and they stuck to it.
Right.
Because they didn't have nobody to answer to.
Right.
They didn't have no covenant.
Man.
So now we answering to them. The Lord said, "I will set my judgment before them." So again, in verse 22, when he reminded us, because we had talked about this in verse 18, 17, and 18, verse 22, from whom thy mind is alienated. So again, like he took that hedge off us. He took that protection, that consideration off of us. And he set that judgment before these people. I will set my judgment before them. I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments. We are living and dying at their hands by their book, by their, so lack of a better word to put it, their law, statutes, commandments. We're living and dying by their credence, by their their way of life. Just to keep it simple, trying not to be too philosophical. But that's what it's all about, and we're dealing with that today. Right. We're living and dying by their laws. If they want to pull you over, because they say that you didn't use your signal right or something like that, or you didn't maintain a lane in a traffic stop, or you did a rolling stop through a stop sign, and then plant some weed on you, plant some crack on you, and then say disorderly conduct and obstruction of justice and this, that, and the third, and let it escalate into the point where they shoot you dead in the streets or put you in jail for the rest of your life over a bag of weed or over a lie. You know what I'm saying? We're under their heel. Like Yahweh said, render unto Caesar that which belongs to Caesar. We don't belong to Caesar, but this is Caesar's kingdom. This is their kingdom. Their laws are set in place. Their laws of the land, this is set in place, and we are expected to keep them. But because of the choices that we have made versus the order that we were given, we're left to them. And we see what they do with life. They kill it. We see, I mean, goddamn, all the horror stories. You got meth heads putting babies in microwaves. You know what I'm saying? You got all types of indescribable atrocities to God. But the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. But their kingdom is fallen. It ain't gonna be like this forever.
That's right. Now,
So, it's like,
if I may, it's like now for the longest time, right? The IHBK, before the IHBK was ever, established in 1969, the prophets and priests in the Bible, they have said that we are in the last days.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to understand, the last days is not 4 or 5 years from now. You know what I mean? We are at a time where this place is falling slowly but surely.
Right.
It's a process. And with this place falling, surely, with this place falling, you know what I mean? Like, we have to still endure into the end. That's one of the things. That's not everything, but that's one of the things when it comes to enduring to the end. You may die in this lifetime.
Right.
And come back as a child and still have to relive it again in this hell. That's what's enduring to the end. That's really what that is. You know what I mean? Because we don't know when Christ returns. Nobody knows. And if there's somebody out there telling you when Christ is going to return, they are a lie.
Right.
You know why? Because the Bible says otherwise.
Well, it's like you got people calling themselves Jesus Christ.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, where the hell is that? Where the hell is that in the Bible?
Right.
All right. Like, and also too, it says that Christ will come as a thief in the night. How the hell you Christ and you calling up saying, "Hey, I'm home.
Right.
What's good?"
Right.
Then everybody's gonna shape up and stop smoking. Stop being an alcoholic. Stop being a whore and a whoremonger. That's too easy. He's gonna come as a thief he's gonna come as a thief in the night because he's gonna catch you slipping. So also too in the Bible it says when Christ returns, you better be found working. Work constantly, day and night. Yes, you're gonna be tired, no sweat. You're gonna have to divorce sleep. You're gonna have to lose sleep. Yes, you're gonna be irritated and agitated, so be it. If you really care about your people, you will put in the work. Not sometimes, all the time. Look, even when the UPK gives us a break, right? Like a so-called like a Saturday or like a like a camp day, they'll be like, you guys can take a break this week. I know brothers who still put in work even when they're told to take a damn break.
Right.
Because that's how much that means to them, is to save their people. To help their people. Come on, man. Even when brothers get told to slow down as far as putting in work, you best believe that they are low key still putting in work. Now they're following the orders, but they're still thinking and brainstorming and mapping things out on how to put in more work. Because in their mind, the work don't stop. Same thing with sisters. You got sisters who don't take breaks. What the hell is a break? You know what I mean? In the minds of some brothers and sisters, man, ain't such thing as a break. Now sometimes maybe a brother and sister may have to take a break because they're working so hard that it's really actually draining them. And they got to sit down somewhere. Maybe they got ailments and health issues. Maybe they're really, fatigued. No sweat. Ain't nothing wrong with a break. You know what I mean? But once again, when it comes to the Most High, you got to be about your business. You know what I mean? You got to be about this business. You have to really show yourself to the Lord. You got to really be serious about this job. This job is not light. Everything that you do has a cause and effect. If you're being light with this work of the Lord, you are going to harm yourself and someone else in the process. Your mistakes and bad decision making is going to harm you and the ones around you. Do you want any blood on your hands?
If you do, hey, this is not a place for you. If you don't, this is the place for you. So where everything must be in decency and order. We can't be like these two sisters in the scriptures, man.
Right.
We can't be a part of whoredoms. We have to be without blemish, no blemishes. Think of blemish as like acne, right? Acne on your face, on your body. You can't have nothing. You can't have no scars or marks on you when it comes to this UPK. You got to be blameless. All right. And people even with Peter, the Sadducees, the Pharisees tried to try to put some blame on Peter because like he was so blameless. They had to make a law against him. That's how wicked this world is.
Right.
This world is so wicked that when they kill a black man, the police department, when they kill a black, Hispanic, Native American man, woman, and child, and they try to justify it, they pull up your past.
Right.
And say, this is why I have to kill him. Because he smoked weed in his 6th grade, but he's 18. Trayvon Martin. They try to do that to Trayvon Martin.
No.
They said, oh, well, he used to smoke weed back then. So-and-so had a past due traffic stop. So that makes him a criminal. I'm sure the police department got a record too. By the way, sis, can't police officers who have can't people who have felonies become a cop?
Depending on what their felony is.
Right. I believe if you are a felon, you are a criminal. So they say.
Right.
But people can change their lives.
You're supposedly a criminal even if you're not a felon, even if you have
Exactly. Yes. If you got a crime underneath your belt, if you got a record, simple as that. If you got a record.
I know for sure misdemeanors. Depending on the misdemeanor, they for sure can become police. In fact, I remember a time they came to my college and they were recruiting us, and they were saying that you didn't even need to have a degree in law to become an officer now.
That's
as
terrible.
long as you had a 2-year degree in anything, you could come over to the law force, and all you have to do is take like a 6-week training class, and then you could become not necessarily one of the street officers. What is it called? The highway patrol and stuff like that.
Okay.
Still give you a
But
badge.
still, they still give you a badge. They still give you a gun.
Yeah.
Either way it goes.
Wow.
You know, they pull people over on the highway and kill them too.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they can follow you off the highway.
Yes. Yeah. But even it seems like even the damn mall cops think that they real cops.
Hey, for real.
Security guards think that they real cops.
So,
I mean, the thing is like what the sister said is very important because it lets you know that. I mean, once again, this place is upside down. You know what I mean? Like it's funny because when I was watching the show Stranger Things, it's an amazing show, and they got this thing on the other side of the world. It's called the upside down. Yeah, upside down. And really, this is it. Like everything is backwards over here. All right. You know what I mean? Like in this earth, in the U.S. alone, just the U.S. alone, is messed up. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn. I found out from the sister your pop. She told me that in the UK, where she comes from, right, or Jamaica, where she comes from, or London, I forget. Damn, got a bad memory right now. Where she comes from, it's somewhere in the UK area. The cops don't even have guns. That blew my mind. I said, wait, what? She said, yeah, police brutality over there is not really a super big issue. They have other things on their belt, but they don't have a gun. So really, if you wanted to commit a crime and get away, you have more of a chance of getting away than getting killed. I said, damn. But in the U.S., it's a different story. It's a damn different story. So imagine that. You know what I mean? Like all you know is the U.S., but outside of the U.S., it's a different world, and it really is. But in here, because our oppressor has set his stamp in the U.S., stole everything, colonize and oppress everybody and everything, even up until right now. This is all we see. We see the police brutality. We see all the false imprisonments. How's it that black men and black women are now just getting out in they 60s and 70s for a crime that they didn't do when they was in their early 20s, when they was 18? That's terrible, man. If y'all know about the story of the Central Park Five, that is a terrible story.
Yeah.
And Rikers Island, which is one of the most dangerous, terrible prisons that there is on this earth. Not to mention the ones in California, and so on and so forth. Go ahead, you want to say
So,
something?
Lockie, are you talking about the brothers who were accused of raping that girl?
Yeah, come.
And then they let them out years after they've lost their
Grown.
lives
They were children when they went in, but they came out, grown. And then
and experienced so much tragedy.
time, and I believe the brother Corey, I think his name was, he kind of had an affliction already, but it was proven that later on it got worse. Like if y'all saw that video of them speaking,
All of them died.
no, not that. Like when the brothers were speaking, right? I believe the brother name is Corey. I believe so. When he was getting interviewed, looked like he could barely speak properly. Versus when you saw the old interview, or not the old interview, but the old tapes of when he was being questioned about the crime, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, da da da. Like he can speak more clear, but now as an adult, like he's so traumatized. You know what I mean? Like he's just so traumatized. He's not himself. And also too, there's many articles that speak about Rikers Island, about how you can go in just fine, but once you come out, something's wrong with you. You got mental disorders because of all the craziness and terrible things that happen in that place. They starve you for months. They'll lock you in a hole for the smallest thing. They'll beat you. They'll do all types of things to you. They'll drug you up. And it's like, good night, man. And the death toll in Rikers Island is terrible too. You know what I mean? But anyway, the sister said, criminals can get their record either expunged or their charge pardoned. Yeah, absolutely right. If you are, once again, if you're looking to get your record expunged, you want to contact the IHPK. IHPK
Right.
Minnesota, IHPK Detroit, any nearby city that you are in, and just ask questions about it. All right. But you want to get that?
Okay.
Okay.
And-
It's fine.
No, it's still.
Oh.
It's like one thing I wanted to add too. In the context again, they can label you whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
This is their kingdom. They can do whatever the hell they want. This is their kingdom. Despite social justice warriors' outcries and what's deemed as politically correct in the public outlook, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't mean, like, do you think they're really gonna stop just because somebody shedding a few tears? They don't care. My mother was they sent out a warrant for my mother's arrest for and she Edomite too. They sent out a warrant for her arrest for overdue VHS tapes from the library. Like they was putting out a little. She got pulled over. She was about to get taken to jail for VHS tapes from the library.
Yeah, something about that. I remember that. Yeah.
VHS tapes
That
from
shit.
the library. They put a warrant out for her arrest,
That shit sensitive.
and they shall judge thee according to their judgments.
Wow.
They're just gonna do what they want to do, how they want to do it, because now this is with their own people too, but because we left the Lord, and because He alienated His mind from us, we're left to their judgment, however they want to rock.
Right.
And this is why we need to come back home, because they're not gonna save us. They're not gonna do anything for us. They're not gonna stop murdering us because it makes the money. They're not gonna stop selling us drugs because it makes the money. They're not gonna stop poisoning the food because it makes the money. They're not gonna stop. They're not gonna stop. And until we wrap our head around that concept, we're not gonna stop either. You're just gonna keep on thinking, protest and petition for reparations. Like they're gonna do that. Like for real, like as if they're really gonna do that. You think they're really gonna give up millions and billions of dollars and land and resources for us? Like for real? They don't care. They do not care, so much to the point that we don't care.
Right.
It's the fight that people are in ain't what they think it is.
Right.
It doesn't, like, you can get all the names on a petition that you want. You can argue with the Senate and the congressmen and your aldermen and city councils all you want. You think they're gonna stop after everything that they worked so hard for to accomplish and achieve, to build up their kingdom, their ideal living conditions? You think they're gonna give that up for us?
No.
For some niggas and some spicks?
I mean, it's like you said that they worked hard for us.
They worked hard for that. They had to murder hundreds and millions of people. They worked hard for that.
They definitely stole for sure.
Stole the hell out of it.
So like they put in no blood, sweat, or tears.
For a minute.
Yeah, I think them murdering, pillaging, and raping and robbing was just for fun.
That was a Sunday afternoon walk in the park for them.
Exactly. It was entertainment.
That's just how they wake up and eat breakfast right afterwards, and let's go kill a village. And I mean they did it for so long.
Our person is the devil, man.
Goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. And
That's
now
right.
we are left to their judgments because we didn't want to keep ours. We didn't want to keep the Lord's. So now if you start weighing it like that, what's better or worse now?
Right.
I'd rather stop having to see my people live like this and I don't know, maybe not sell crack because the Lord said it. And maybe not advocate abortions because the Lord said, that that's murder. Otherwise, I mean, you can certainly get along and, make a lucrative lifestyle out of following suit to Planned Parenthood or to the Democrats or Republicans, whichever way you fancy that day, to the liberals or conservatives. It ain't gonna matter. It's all the same team. They're bowling for the same club. They're all wearing the same flag and prancing around in the same pajamas. It don't. You got to get your mind out of the gutter and get your head in the game.
That's right.
Like it's go time.
Right.
It's been go time for a minute. That's why you had these brothers putting in work for as long as we had.
Right.
Because it's happening. It's kicking off. It wouldn't have kicked off in '69 if now was not the time.
Right.
And that rhymed. But real shit, like Slack, it wouldn't have kicked off at the time it kicked off if it weren't the season for this. If this was not meant to, if now wasn't that time, that just that season, that time. There's a time for this, there's a time for that, season for this, season for that. We are in that season.
Right.
And it's time to take it serious.
So like if I may, like what you're saying, it reminds me of Paul, Romans 13 and 11. Yeah, Romans chapter 13, verse 11. It is high time to wake out of sleep.
I don't want to.
You know what I mean? It's high time to wake out of sleep. That's what it is. And you really said bars. She said bars.
Hey, she get
no, that ass though. But yeah, like it's high time to wake out of sleep. Like you gotta get out of this slumber. Like you really have to get your mind right. You gotta focus. You know what I mean? I think that past week I done told a few people, hey, focus.
Right.
Focus. You know what I mean? Like even me, like I check myself before I get checked. Nigga, focus. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, not to sound crazy or anything or mentally unstable, but
Sometimes you gotta holler at yourself. You gotta have a conversation with yourself and be like, you gotta stay focused. You gotta get up. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You know what I mean? You may get tired. You may feel burnt out. You know what I mean? But like, there's still work to be done because you wanna know why? Christ has not returned yet. So you gotta keep at it. It's a steady pace.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ain't saying burn yourself out, max out, but still continue to work. Never feel comfortable. The moment you feel comfortable, that's when you are going to start getting lazy. You are going to stop doing the things that are necessary in the work of the Lord. You have to not be comfortable. Honestly, this truth, because of the responsibility and what the mission is, it can get uncomfortable. But it's a good uncomfortability to where it makes you want to do more. It makes you want to work. Some people are so damn uncomfortable and pressured that they don't know how to handle it and they leave. They never come in. But the Most High said, many are called, but few are chosen. Many people don't pick up that phone and actually hear the conversation, hear what their future is going to be, and for them, like how life is going to be for them. You know what I mean? Honestly, even in the truth, we still have our problems, our issues. We have everyday life, things that go on top of us trying to raise up our nation. But it's better to go through that in the truth than to be in the world. Because in the world, you can distract yourself with all the devices that's going to destroy you and put you in a terrible place. When you feel in some sense of depression, anxiety, when you feeling like, damn, I need help with my rent, I need help with this and this and that, you can actually lean on somebody that can help you. In the world, there is no help. You know what I mean? You are going to cry on the shoulder of a person that's just going to have sex with you and throw you to the side. You're going to lean onto those drugs that's just going to allow you to lose everything. You pay the drug dealer like he's your landlord more than your own landlord. Goddamn. And then you crying on social media talking about, I need a place to stay. I don't know what to do. Well, where has your money been going? You say you work, right? Well, where the hell is your money going? I know you got a kid too, but still, where's your money going? It's going to all the wrong places. You put yourself in a hole. Now you have to dig yourself out, otherwise you will be buried in that hole that you dug in the first place. Anyway, keep going. Unless you want to bring some out.
No, come. Verse 25. And I will set my jealousy against thee. This is the word that I was looking up, jealousy, because a lot of people want to say that the Most High has got human feeling, and that's not something that the Lord will do. But just to define what jealousy is, so you got, and this is from the Merriam-Webster Collegiate Dictionary. So jealous, one, and they're also using zeal as as an assumed root source for the word. But intolerant of rivalry or unfaithfulness. So now if we were to substitute that for jealousy in verse 25, he will set his intolerance of our rivalry or unfaithfulness against him.
Right.
It's not how we would interpret it. Like a lot of these words, we don't even really know the definitions of.
Yeah.
Like we don't get the concept of the context of them. You got to look at the definitions of them.
Right.
So now it's got a couple other markers on here. Be disposed to suspect rivalry and unfaithfulness. 2, hostile towards a rival or one believed to enjoy an advantage. 3, vigilant in guarding a possession. So I mean, how do none of these other ones fit? You know what I'm saying? Like people think, and this is all because, or largely I would say, because of what Christianity has done to these records, to this Bible.
Right.
What Catholicism and Islam has done to it. Judaism and Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses and Lutherans and Presbyterians and Baptists and blah 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 blah. That list goes on and on. And I think there's like 20,000 religions on earth. Christianity, Catholicism, all together probably amalgamate like half of that. Like it gets messed up. It gets convoluted. It gets diluted, and we don't see past just what they've shown us. So again, now we're being judged by their judgments, where we're living life how they gave it to us. You know, using the resources that they've left behind, and looking at some of these concepts in the wrong light. So now they got jealousy, the word jealousy in here. 1, a jealous disposition, attitude, or feeling. 2, zealous zealous vigilance. He's setting his he's setting his intolerance of our rivalry or unfaithfulness, because he's disposed. I mean, he's suspecting our rivalry and unfaithfulness. He's hostile towards it. He's vigilant in guarding his possessions. That's his jealousy. If we're defining the word correctly, it's not just some selfish feeling that you get because somebody took your toy or snatched your girl or something like that. It's deeper than that. People gotta like they want to talk about scholarship. I mean, these are some simple things that we can do to get to the understanding of what this thing that we do is.
If I may sound like what you said is very important, because the reason why the Most High is jealous of us dealing with another nation of people, as far as their gods, is because the Most High never intended that to be that way.
Right.
You was only supposed to be a people who had one God, not multiple gods.
Right.
So now, you sisters out there who hate a man having multiple wives, the Most High hates you having multiple gods.
Right.
How about that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And you sisters are in hot water right now, because you are in the God of smoking weed, gossiping. You are in the God of gay men, gay women. You are in hot water. You serving God.
Twerking at a stoplight.
Come on now. Twerking everywhere.
Abortion.
There we go. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. You are the God for everything and everybody. But meanwhile, you upset that your man got another woman.
Right.
But in a sense of righteousness, though, right? He got him another woman that nobody has but him. And you upset about that. But meanwhile, you are a whore yourself.
Right.
You are a drug addict yourself. You haven't worked on yourself, but you focus on the next woman. That's not your marriage. When a man has multiple wives, that man, okay, all those marriages, how can I say it? Okay, usually I don't like this term, wife number 1 or 2, 3 or 4, right? But in an example, right? If the rib that, okay, wife number 1, right? That's a marriage between them two. The other wives have nothing to do with that marriage.
Right.
Wife number 2 has nothing to do with wife number 3, as far as that marriage. You know what I mean? Also, too, that word sister wives, that came out not too long ago. The sister wife thing is Christian as hell.
Right.
It comes from Esau. Ain't no such thing as sister wives. And then when you think about it more, it sounds nasty too. It sounds weird. That's just your sister. That's it. You feel me? All right. Y'all all sisters married to this one man. Okay. You know what I mean? Also too, it's another thing about all STDs and stuff like that. But you had no problem sucking this man's ride and going back to your husband at the end of the day. You talking about STDs? Because I don't know if y'all know, y'all can get STDs from the mouth, not just from the your grown folk parts. You feel me? But like, come on now, like let's be real. And also too, in the UPK for sure,
we are a people that are clean in every solitary way.
Right.
We do we do get checkups. We make sure that we, we have protocol when it comes to our marriages and things of that sort. I would hope that you go to the doctor at least once a year. I ain't saying you gotta go every month, but shit, I mean, at least often, sooner or later. You know what I mean? And then also too, some STDs, you don't even know if you have it until it got worse, it got bad. So it's good that you at least check up on yourself and your partner checks up as well, your wife, your husband, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But anyway, keep going on.
Verse 25. And I will set my jealousy against thee,
Right.
and they shall deal furiously with thee.
Mhm.
They shall take away thy nose and thine ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Somebody just said, "Are you sitting by a devil?" Look, I'm gonna tell you this, right? Absolutely not. I'm sitting by an Ephraimite, a brother who is Puerto Rican.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Also, too, it lets you know how you're thinking. Skin color does not determine your nationality.
Right.
Once again, let me ask you something. Do you smoke? Do you get high? Do you sleep with devils? Don't you ever ask that question again. Once again, the ISUK, we know that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Why would we have the oppressor here with us?
Right.
This brother is an Ephraimite, a Puerto Rican.
That's right.
As you know,
That's right.
in the Bible, it does say in Jeremiah that my people are like a speckled bird. If you actually see an actual speckled bird, it has many what colors? But that's just a physicality. Skin color don't determine your nationality. Don't ask me if my brother is a devil. Absolutely not. But if you are in the world, which it seems like you are, Gary Smith, because I don't know if you're a trooper or not. I don't see you in a class. So I should be asking you, are you a devil? Are you like your father?
Right.
The devil. That's in the Bible too. All right, don't ask me if I'm sitting by a devil. No, I'm sitting right next to a righteous man.
Right.
And maybe you might want to listen to him when you get the chance. All right, keep going. If you could read it back from the top.
Ezekiel chapter 23, verse 25. And I will set my jealousy against thee,
Right.
and they shall deal furiously with thee. They shall take away thy nose and thine ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword.
Right, and that's called nakedness. Things being stripped from you is called nakedness. All right, and that's what's going to happen to our people. Keep going.
They shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire.
Good night. You want to touch on that? You got it.
And again, we're experiencing this stuff now.
Right.
We're living through this right here, right now, stripping us naked. Taking away our our capacity to provide for ourselves, and that remnant shall fall by the sword. Like, how many more Trayvon Martins and George Floyds do we got to see?
Right.
And Philando Castiles and the Kai Gurleys, like, do we got to see? And they shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire. Man, they eating us alive out here. And like we had read up before, they shall, in verse 24, they shall come against you with chariots and their wagons and this and that, and they shall come up with the buckler and shield and helmet. They got us. They got us surrounded, man. They got us surrounded. And they're plucking away at us, taking our kids from us. Not just losing them in the system, in the foster care system, in the prison systems, losing them to drugs, losing them to alcohol, losing them to street violence, losing them to the LGBT community.
Right.
We're living this right now, and these things, we're not just talking about something that happened 400 years ago. But they always want to talk about slavery was so long ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Right. I mean, slavery still happening.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
on paper,
Right.
on paper,
Right.
how they want to say it, slavery. It was not that long ago,
I mean,
and it hadn't stopped.
yeah. Have you ever heard of a warehouse? That's,
Right.
That's a plantation.
You got the staffing agencies.
Plantation.
I mean, they taking, golly, that job might be $20 an hour. You're only getting like 12, 11, 10.
Yeah.
They getting the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's, they're taking away our livelihood, man.
Yeah, I mean, also too with the temp agencies, right? I mean, you're being auctioned off to a job.
Right.
You know, I mean, it sounds very similar to the whole sharecropping era.
Right.
Sharecropping was just another form of slavery. They just prettied up the name. They polished it to make it look good, just like it is today. I heard a devil say, "Yeah, I'm over all these people." And the way he said it, I'm like, you pretty much saying like, "Yeah, I'm master, and they are the slaves beneath me." And the way he had a smile on his face, I'm like, "Good night, like you are truly the devil that the Bible speaks of." Yeah, like good night, like y'all time is almost over, soon enough. Keep going.
Verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
They shall also strip thee out of thy clothes and take away thy fair jewels.
Mm.
Verse 27. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore.
Mm. Mm.
Oh, we had the definition of lewdness before.
Oh yeah, that was last week.
Now, if you look at the context of it again, thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee. Like it's gonna come to a head. It's gonna come to a boil.
Right.
And the same judgment that's gonna fall this earth, because like there's gonna be a time. All right, so right now, our residue is being devoured by their fire. There's gonna come a time when that scripture is gonna flip, and their residue is gonna be devoured by the Lord's fire. So now there's going to come a time where our lewdness is going to cease from you. Like, and this also is like more so to the point this also talking about like you ain't gonna be that proud no more.
Right.
You're like you walking around all hoity-toity, like lifting up your, with your nose in the air, like you doing something. And like there, all right. So there was this video that I just shared on Facebook. I can't remember the damn sister that was conducting like the interview, but she had some rapper, some female rapper, kind of going through like a little museum with a lot of like prominent sisters from our culture, like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, things like that. Mm-hmm. And she was having her read her lyrics to these sisters, and her lyrics were like popping ass and blah blah blah. Yeah, all that, all that lewdness, and she's sitting there reading that to Harriet Tubman, like in real life. If that sister was still alive right now, how would she look at our women? If some of our brothers, if King David were alive right now, how would he look at us for the things that we've done, for the way that we act? Little Nas X, do you think he's gonna join the court? Like, is he gonna be knighted? Nah. Like his life's just gonna get reset.
Right.
But again, we walking around in a fantastical manner. Like this should not be allowed to happen.
Right.
This should not be allowed to happen. All the music and media that we are engaged in, the way that we conduct ourselves in public, for our enemies to see, for those that want us dead and destroyed, for our enemies to see, the way that we walk around in public, man, the way that we carry ourselves, horrible. And thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from me, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore. This day is going to pass, But at the same time, like how to say it,
Hold on a second. So you're saying that you guys don't know anything about DNA and chromosomes. What are you talking about? I mean, it's clear that you don't know anything about it either. All right. So what exactly are you talking about? Can you explain? All right. Because once again, I guess trying to go back to the fact that you're a devil and things of that sort. All right. Don't you know that Hispanics, Native Indians, the black people can be all different types of shade of
all
color?
different.
Now let me say this, right? You are the seed of your father.
Right.
Now, when it comes to you talking about DNA and chromosomes, I'm assuming that you're going to get into how you're probably half of your mother and your father. As far as the chromosomes, yes. But at the same time, who has the seed? It's not about the color of your skin, it's about the seed. You probably think Bob Marley is a black man. All right. Esau wasn't white. The two nations that was in womb was black people. Yeah, you're right. But the Most High did separate Esau and Jacob,
Right.
just like the Most High separated Isaac and Ishmael. Abraham had eight kids, but he separated Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael became his own nation. Isaac is still a nigger. Ishmael is the Arabs.
And it's like if I may, on that same point that I'm assuming it's a brother.
Yeah.
Like Adam just said, Ishmael and Isaac.
Right.
That they should have been two black people also.
Yeah.
But they got separated and that became a whole other group of people.
Right.
So
just like the Chinese, the Japanese, just like
would have came from black people.
Just like the Africans. So are Africans the same thing as black people? Not at all. That's two different nations. You know what I mean? Maybe you are either. I don't know. But the point is, once again, you are the seed of your father, not the color of your father, not the color of your mother. You are the seed of your father. You know what I mean? I know a few brothers, and I know I say a few brothers, and I know a sister who look like devils. But I know these people personally, and I know their family. And I know who the daddy is and who the mommy is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come on now. I know somebody in my family, like I have an uncle. He has he's married to a Chinese woman. And out of all the children, one of the children looks more like the mother than the father. But I know that's an Israelite because of the uncle. My uncle, the father. Like, come on now. Skin color does not determine your nationality. It could be very deceiving. I do understand. I get it. You know what I mean? But also, too, there's a spirit behind every person. You would know if somebody truly is a heathen or not. Also, too, heathens don't survive in the ISUPK.
Right.
I pray you understand.
Right.
I pray you understand. Heathens do not survive in the UPK. All right. Anyway, moving on. I ain't trying to,
Kind of.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So yeah, verse 27. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore. So again, if you were to go back up to like 23 and 15, verse 15, where it said all them princes to look to, for the manner of Babylonians and Chaldea and the land of their nativity. There's gonna come a time where we're gonna get humbled, like God, like in the LGBT community too. Like they walk around proud with their gay pride. They walk around like, I mean, a very, very indecent attire and a very boastful in their mannerisms. Like, I mean, they are Like the men are good night. They are so flamboyant
Right.
and just open about it. Like in private, they might not even be like that, but in public, now they got to put on a show. Like you're lewdness, like lewdness is gonna cease. You're gonna shut up. You're gonna shut up. This kingdom is going to fall. We ain't gonna be looking up and idolizing their princes and their powers anymore. There's gonna come that time. And it's gonna come at a cost to us because, well, shit, now we're gonna have to follow suit to our power. And again, if you look at the history and everything that's been done and all the different dealings, like if you were to go back in time, would you take this away for your people's sake? For a lot of individuals, they probably wouldn't because I mean they selfish anyway. They ain't thinking about the people.
Mm-hmm.
So they ain't gonna protest that. Like listen, they made their riches off of this destruction too. But you know their $1 million made somebody else like $50 million. You know, like all our athletes and all of our entertainers and sports figures and musicians and this, that, and the third, and all the artists.
You know, I was just say, Commander Junior Hunter just talked about that Monday.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. That was a very good point. Like, yeah, he's worth $1 million, but
Right.
how much did he make for the team? You know, the other ones who sponsoring him and managing him. You know what I mean? They are making 50, like twice, not even twice, 3 times more money. But you are getting a short, you know what I mean? You are getting a short hand of it.
Right.
Before it's like
And there's gonna come that time where just like when we were coming out of the wilderness or coming out of Egypt into the wilderness and everybody was sitting there complaining, you know, why you know, we might as well just go back. Like we out here, you know, scraping and scrounging for food and, you know, gathering and suffering and you know, we gotta build our own huts and blah blah blah. Like other words that I want to say, complaining and moaning about the condition at the end.
right.
Wishing that they could go back to Egypt. This is saying like we ain't gonna have that option.
Right.
Like there's gonna come a time when the Most High, when he does come back, he's gonna cut everything off. Salaki, kind of. When Most High send Yahushua back, he's gonna cut everything off. You're not gonna be able to turn to America and be like, listen, I'll rock with y'all then. No, America's gonna be destroyed.
Yeah.
This kingdom is going to be destroyed.
Right.
Russia is gonna be destroyed. France, the United Nations, they're gonna be destroyed. You're not gonna be able to turn to them for aid because the Most High is coming back to check everybody. Or it's like the Most High is gonna send Yahushua back to check everybody and set things back in order. You're not gonna have that option. There's not gonna be a human resource department to call because you feel that your constitutional civil rights have been compromised. It ain't gonna work that way. Verse 28. For thus saith Yahweh, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest, into the hand of them from whom thy mind is alienated. Again, that's who we're dealing with right now. And also on the flip side, Christianity hates God, hates Yahweh.
Right.
We're going to be put back into that hand too. As much as this world hates the Lord and would just rather go along and get along, all of this is going to get wiped out.
Right.
All this is going to get destroyed. But again, it's going through the records of how we've been acting. And join us next week, and for the next 7 verses.
Tomorrow Saturday.
No, well, next Sabbath. Service just for this.
Oh, okay.
We'll get into more detail because again, like there's a buildup in these visions with Ezekiel, as we've seen. Like it kind of sets the premise, and it talks about some of the circumstances, the interactions, the dealings, the attitudes, the choices that were made on our behalf, and the consequences that are going to come to fall. So we'll get into that more next week also. But if you go back through this again, we're going from 22 to 28, and again, you can't say that this Bible ain't truth, man. These records they illustrate our life,
Right.
and they call back to remembrance everything that we already been through, everything that we're dealing with right now.
Right.
And it's gonna give us the solution. It's gonna give us the solution.
Right.
Just some people ain't gonna be as down as they thought they were to go the extra mile. The things the thing that this is gonna require of us, it's more than some people can bear. And that's why we have classes. That's why we have camp. That's why we have councils. That's why the UPK exists. That's why you got this shelter, this little sanctuary here, to prepare the brothers and the sisters for what's coming.
Right.
So that we ain't gotta get where is it? Suck it. So our residue ain't gotta be devoured by their fire.
Right.
So yeah. That was the end of the 28. Ahmad, stand. Ahmad Young for everybody to stand. Closing out the Sabbath service. All right, select. Wapanya Akudam, turn to face the east. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, you can find it in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 through 13. Yabanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwa, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barak, Kawa, Yawam, Islaki, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Thunlanaw, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Basalaklanau, Kabawatnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabawatinaw, Wala, Dabianaw, Manasawan, Bo, Kamshanaw, Bayam, Rai, Hayah, Laka, Amalakwa, Wa'al, Wata Parat, Lawalami, Aman.
In English, our Father,
Our Father,
in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Thy
thy kingdom
kingdom
come,
come.
thy will be
Thy will
done
be done
in earth
in earth
as it is
as
heaven.
it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily
our daily
bread,
bread,
and forgive us of our debts,
and forgive us of our
as
debts,
we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not to temptation,
Lead us not into
but
temptation.
deliver us from evil.
Deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the
and
kingdom,
the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
Amen.
Amen. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah,
Asha'ah,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ahahari,
Ahahari,
Ma'ayan,
Ma'ayan,
Yaba'ah,
Yaba'ah,
Azari,
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 Ma'ayin,
Ma'an,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Asha,
Asha,
Shemayim,
Shemai,
Waratazah,
Barakasa,
Ayatan,
Ayatan,
Lamuat,
What?
Wagalka,
Rock,
Ayanawam,
Ayanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamar,
Hana,
Hana,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'ah,
La'ah,
Yayishan,
Yashan,
Shawamah,
Shawamah,
Yasha'al,
Yasha'al,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazal,
Tazal,
Aliyah,
Aliyah,
Yamyanka,
Yamyan,
Yawamam,
Yamamam,
Ashamash,
Ashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
Yakka,
Barak,
Barak,
Malayala,
Layala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Makorai,
Korai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Atnapash,
Nasapash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'at,
Kada'at,
Wabu'ak,
Wabu'at,
Maita,
Mai,
Wai,
Wai,
Aulam.
Aulam. In English, I will lift up mine
I will
eyes
lift up mine eyes
to the
to
hills.
the hills.
From whence comes my
From whence
help?
comes my help?
My help comes from the
My
Lord,
help comes from the Lord,
which made heaven and
which
earth.
made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee without slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth thee shall
he that keepeth thee shall
neither slumber nor
shall
sleep.
neither slumber nor
The
sleep.
Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy
The
right
Lord is
hand.
thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor the
night.
moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all
The
evil.
Lord shall preserve thee from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy
He
soul.
shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going
The Lord
out
shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming
and
in.
thy coming in.
From this time
From
forth
this time forth
and even
and
forevermore.
forevermore. Prayer for the cock, the evil, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai,
Yahweh Shema Shah.
Baruch Kashah,
Baruch Shah.
the thunder out,
Thunder now.
the cock,
Ka.
the cock,
Ka.
La Rafa'ah,
Na Qur'an.
Call Makalah,
Kamakala.
Call Marawah,
Ka
the
Manawa.
cock,
Ka.
Gatahar,
Tahar.
Amatazar,
Kamatazar.
the cock,
Ka.
the Hakwi,
Haki.
Matthew,
Mati.
the cock,
Ka.
Arakwa,
Arakawa.
Atamal,
Al.
the Garshan,
Garsh.
Hashem Yahushai,
Bashim Shah.
Wadamun,
Walaman. Power in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Name Yahweh Shah.
name Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power,
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
power to heal all manner of sickness,
And all manner of disease.
all manner of disease,
The power to cleanse the leper.
power to cleanse the lepers,
Power to raise the
power to
dead.
raise the dead,
Power against unclean spirits.
power against unclean
To
spirits,
cast them out.
cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
And then Yahushai,
Thank you.
thank you,
So be it.
so be it. Pray to bless Israel and the evil. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai,
Yahweh Shema Shah.
Barak Lanau,
Barak Lanau.
Vayashal,
Yashal.
Wabayah,
Mahabaya.
Sapar,
Sapari.
Barak,
Barak.
Rafa'ah,
Rafa'ah.
Magan,
Magan.
Hagan.
Magan.
Israelites, it's like it. And for time's sake, Israelite School UPK,
It's like who you can carry.
all of Israel.
All of Israel.
Hashem Yahushai,
Bashim Yahweh Shah.
Wadamun.
In English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shah.
Lord, name Yahushai.
Bless us in Yasha'Allah.
Bless us and Yashal
And the school.
and the school.
Bless.
Bless,
Heal.
heal,
Shield.
shield,
Protect.
protect,
Loved
I
ones.
love
In his name, we Yahweh
you.
Shah.
Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allahayim.
Allahayim.
Adam Yalaka.
Adam Yalaka.
Alta Kurat.
Atakaras.
Walta Squat.
Wata Squat.
Oh,
Oh.
Yahana.
Yahana.
Wabika.
Kawaki.
Yahami Yuwan.
Yahami one.
Rash.
Ash.
Alamaka.
Amak.
Yawyam.
Yawarayam.
Sawad.
Sawar.
Oyate Yaitazwa.
Wayata Tazma.
Altazwa Pani.
Alta Zapomka.
Amal.
Amar.
Lakuwa.
Akawa.
Walikakidam.
Kat Yidam.
Magawi.
Magawi.
Wala Ayasakar.
Wala Ayah Sakar.
Shamya Shah.
Samya Sha'al.
Awad.
Awal.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa Tazwa.
Nawai Tazma.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakharbu.
Ikadma.
Ayaka.
Ayak.
Barya.
Varya.
Yakurak.
Yakaras.
Ahaliya.
Ahoy.
Arawam.
Anawam.
Waya Shemai Aliyam.
Waya Shema Alayam.
Mawaba.
Mawa'ab.
Wahagari.
Mawagari.
Kabul.
Kapa.
Wamuan.
Wamuan.
Wamalak.
Amalat.
Hashak.
Alashak.
Amishabi.
Amishabi.
Tazwo.
Zazawu.
Gam Ashawu.
Kamashu.
Nalawa.
Alawa.
Amam.
Imam.
Haywa.
Ayawa.
Zarwa.
Sarawat.
Labanyalawa.
Abaya Lawa.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Ashalahum.
Kamari.
Kamali.
Kasiya Shara.
Kasiya Sarah.
Kayabi.
Kiyad.
Banakal.
Manakor.
Oyashwan.
Ruashma.
Nashamaru.
Shema.
Bayanda Ar.
Bayanda Or.
Haywa.
Ayawa.
Laman.
Namun.
Ladam.
Latam.
Shatamu.
Shatam.
Nariyamaw.
Nariyamab.
Karab.
Kairab.
Wakizabu.
Waza'ab.
Wakizabak.
Kazabat.
Wakizomana.
Kazawabana.
Kaona Seakamu.
Kona Sakam.
Ashaw.
Show.
Amaw.
Amar.
Narusha.
Narsha.
Nanwa.
Wa.
Ah. Nawa.
Nawa.
Allahayim.
Alaya.
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 Shatam.
Shatam.
Kagawula.
Gog.
Kakwash.
Squash.
The Panya Rauka.
Upon your world of
Kaash.
Ka'ash.
The Byri Iru.
Varia Iron.
Wakalahab.
Mahal.
The Lahat.
Alahat.
Ayam.
Rim.
Kantar Dap.
Connor Thought.
Basaru.
Basar.
Babasu Patka.
Possible Pot.
Tabalaham.
Kalahum.
Mala'a.
Mala'ah.
Panyaham.
Panya.
Walwan.
Kwalawan.
Oyabakwash.
Wabakwash.
Shamkat.
Shukah.
Yahaw.
Yahweh.
Gibashku.
Bash.
Oyabahaw.
Oya Bahal.
Adi Ai.
Ai Ja'ai.
Oyakapar.
Oya Kapal.
Oyabarwa.
Oya Abab.
Oyadaiwa.
Oya Da'ai.
Kayata.
Oya Ta.
Shamkat.
Shukah.
Yahaw.
Yahweh.
Nabatka.
Bat.
Ariwan.
Ayuan.
Aw.
Aw.
Go.
Come.
Alratasa.
Saratasa. In English, keep not thy silence.
Kinatasal.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
below.
Below.
The enemies make the
The
tumult.
enemies make the tumult.
And they that hate thee.
They that hate thee.
And lift up the
And
head.
lift up the head.
They have taken crafty
They
counsel.
have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against our people.
They consult against thy enemies.
And consulted against our
They
enemies.
have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
let's cut them off from being a
let's
nation.
cut them off from being a nation.
Let the name of
In
Yahshua
the name of Yahshua,
maybe no more remember.
maybe no more remember.
So they have consulted together one consent.
But they have consulted together one consent.
They are confederate against
So are confederate
the
against
tabernacles of
the
Edom,
tabernacles of
and
Edom,
the
and
Ishmaelites,
the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
Moab,
Hagarim,
Garim,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and
and Amalek.
Amalek.
The Philistines inhabitants of Tyre,
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
and Shore also joined with them.
So is also joined with them.
They have hope for the children of
They
Lot.
have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah.
doing to them as to the Midianites,
And unto them is unto the
as
Midianites,
to Sisera,
as the Sisera,
as to
as
Jabin,
the Ben,
as the brook of
as the
Kishon,
brook his son,
which perished at Noah.
prepares to them door.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became the dung for the earth.
Make the nobles like a
Made
rig,
the nobles like a
and
red,
like Zeed.
like Z.
Yea,
Yea,
are the princes as a fire,
all the princes of
and
Babylon,
as the moon.
as the moon,
Who said,
who said,
they say to ourselves,
let's think to
the
ourselves,
houses of Yahweh in
the
possession,
house of Yahweh in possession,
on my
on
power,
my power,
make you like a
wheel
wheel,
like a wheel,
as the stubble before the
as
wind,
the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the
as
wood,
the fire burneth the wood,
as the flames set the mountains on
as
fire.
the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
First we them with thy
and
temper,
make them afraid with thy soul.
make them afraid with thy storm,
Fill the faces with
fill
shame,
the faces with
that
shame,
you may seek thy
that
name.
might seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
be confounded in trouble forever.
let be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
we put to shame and perish,
that we put to shame and
that
perish,
men may know that thou,
and men may know that thou,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
whose name alone is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the
art
earth.
the most high of all the earth.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and
King
earth,
of heaven and
and
earth,
all things live.
and all things live.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in
Shai,
the Yahweh Shah,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
See, he was a curse,
He was a curse,
and punishment and destruction
punishment,
to the
destruction
heathen
to the heathen,
that speak against us,
speak against
thy
us,
prophets,
thy prophets,
the teachers,
teachers,
the princes,
princes,
the priests,
priests,
the Israelite
brothers,
brothers,
thy brothers,
and the
in
school.
the school.
See, he was a curse,
And he was a curse,
punishment and destruction
punishment,
to the
destruction
heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake
to
loose
shake
the
loose
treasure of the rich of
the
Israel,
treasure of the rich of
that
Israel,
refused to give to the
that
school,
refused to give to the school,
force the riches,
force their
to
riches,
thy
that
sanctuary.
of thy
See,
sanctuary.
he was a curse,
And he was a curse,
punishment and destruction
punishment,
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the
and the
Edomites,
nation,
and the
and the
nation,
drug dealers,
drug
the
dealers,
court system,
court
the
system,
prison system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalekites, synagogues, and armies,
Amalek synagogues and all.
Roman Catholic
Roman
Church,
Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Catholicism,
Italian,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
every nation,
every nation,
skinheads,
skinheads,
Osmotize,
Osmotize,
the gay movement,
gay movement,
lesbian,
lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
works of witchcraft,
works of witchcraft,
bad space
that's
program,
space programs, Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet,
open up the
and
internet,
airways,
and airways,
your access channel,
have access
and
channel,
radio
and
channel,
radio channel,
convict the spirit in thy people,
convict the spirit of any of thy people
that seek to
that
stop,
seek to stop
and
us,
bring swift
and
destruction
bring swift
to
destruction
all the
to all the
that
heathen
stand in the way,
that stand in the way,
try to stop
try
us,
to stop us,
broadcast your words,
broadcasting your words,
planet
throughout
Earth,
the planet
that
Earth,
lose all the
and
plague,
loose all the planet,
cause to go to and
cause
fro,
them to go to and fro,
to the earth and consume
through the
it.
earth and consume them.
Let the place shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh
And
Shai,
Yahweh Shah,
Michael and Gabriel,
Michael and Gabriel,
come down to flying
down
saucers,
to flying saucers,
to punish all the
punish
evil
all the evil
that come up
that
against
come up
us,
against us.
as you speak thy
As we
word,
speak thy word,
cause it to be known by all.
cause it to be known by all.
That is the angels that have done it.
It's the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media,
Cause it to be spread through the media,
throughout the whole
throughout the
world.
whole world.
Cause it to shake out thy come.
Cause it to shake if thy come.
In the name of Yahweh
And then
Shai,
Yahweh Shah,
thank you always.
come always.
So be it.
So be it. Saw it at the front.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barak Yah.
Yahweh Shemi Yahshua Barak Yah. I saw it to the front.
All right, Israel, that concludes the Sabbath service. Shalom.